people to cooperate with the power, folks in
Jealousy,
power.
vengeance, these are human qualities.
My argument or my issue with interpreting is that, we as human beings, that's what we do. We have something and we have to interpret it. My issue is it all boils down and distilled to, is it divine or is it not? And am I allowed to pick things out or am I not? There are so many issues with the claim of divinity, because it's not that it's open to interpretation, it's that it's always being interpreted. There are conclaves,
so many languages.
that are built just to do that. To decide which book goes in, which book comes out,
Yeah, Martin Luther took out like 10 books or something, and they're like, why'd you do that? And he's like, that's not what God wanted. It's like, oh, okay, Martin Luther.
Yeah.
One of the biggest reasons why I stepped forward is, again, because I think it's a guideline, not an absolute. It was tough for me because I'm very much like, I believe in Jesus Christ and whatever God says he wants, and it's tough to even realistically do that every day. Like every day I sin because I kiss this man that I love, and then I jump on a box and go to OnlyFans. You know what I mean? Like it's tough feeling like everything that you do, that's just an everyday thing, and it has zero to do with how you treat people. At the end of the day, the rainbow that it gets to and stuff and pot of gold is that Jesus Christ is all loving. He loves everybody. He hung out with someone who was like a whore.
Hey, don't slow down.
And was like, hey, you still can be this good person. Don't let the world tell you this. But I believe that in some way, the Bible is telling you that. Is telling you like, this is, hey, it's okay to not be this. I think it's maybe organized religion that gets it muffled, and then there's all this hate towards everyone. Because I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't think that Jesus Christ hated
Trying to
any of
organize
us.
all of the Bible and make it make sense, that's gonna fail. Not very clear whether
Jesus Christ hates sin because his Father hates sin. So if you're actively present in sin, oblivious to whatever sin you're committing, you're not oblivious, you know it's a sin, but you're conditioning yourself to think it's not a sin. That's the people God actually hates. People who have disregard for him, no respect, no obedience for their creator. That's the people God hates. And you better be lucky that you have that grace to be sitting there and spewing that nonsense and you're not dead on the spot.
it's telling us to do good things or do bad things. It has kind of a combination of both in there.
Thank you. I'm actually glad that you brought up the whole translations thing, because that is something that I used to question as well. And once I looked into it, every modern translation of the Bible is actually translated from Greek, Hebrew, or Aramaic, which are ancient languages. So it's not that we're just continuing to translate from whatever was modern to another modern, no. And that's why if you've ever heard of the Dead Sea Scrolls, it's ancient text from the Bible, where if you were to compare it to the Bible today, only things different is like punctuation.
But that's amazing, because that was one of the most amazing discoveries of the
How we
century.
order
That they discovered the Dead Sea Scrolls, and they
Yo,
thought,
what do the Dead Sea Scrolls look like? We're gonna look at the Dead Sea Scrolls. Google is my friend. What the scrolls? What do they look like? Oh, it's an Ezra. It's an Ezra. Yo, God really said he's gonna preserve his word. Y'all don't remember that? He said he's gonna preserve his word. Like, yo, that's crazy. It is like the original Bible. No way. Yo, these things are more, almost like, it's 2,000 plus years old. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
they would correct all these mistakes in the Bible, but it was so amazing that 99.99% was accurate, so they were amazed.
2 Peter chapter 1 verse 20 tells us that no scripture is for interpretation. So it's actually for us to accept rather than understand. And for me personally, like when I try to understand, so I have a kid, when he was 5 years old, I tried to explain to him like mortgage. I had money in my pocket. I was still poor. I was living in the projects, right? My kid was like, let me get bubble gum. And I was like, I can't. I don't have enough money. I don't want to like buy him the clothes. I couldn't buy him the clothes. But in his mind, he was understanding it as, Dad, you don't love me, right? And I'm like, but I do love you. As much as I explained it to him, he couldn't understand it. He was very miserable because of that. Bible tells us, at least for me, that we're all children in God. Like we're finite beings. We cannot understand infinite things. So when I learned to stop trying to understand rather and just accept, then I was able to truly be free. For me personally.
That's like
Sounds
growing
amazing.
up. It was like I would ask my parents because my parents are super religious, Trumpers, borderline QAnon. Scary.
2024. Let's go.
Being a Trump fan is scary. Oh my Lord. Man, you guys gotta do better, bro. I support Trump. Like, he's the best candidate right now. That's a fact. So I'm evil now because I support this man. That hasn't done nothing to y'all. I think people just hate him because he's rich and he doesn't care. He's arrogant. Like, he doesn't care what you think. He doesn't care if you hate him or not. Because that man is rich, bro. Once you're rich, like, you don't care about what broke people got to say. That's a fact. You don't really care what broke people got to say to you. Because those broke people are still trying to make the money that you have made. And you've already made it. You've done the thing that they're waking up every morning to do. Trump literally doesn't have to do anything for the rest of his life and he'll be good.
Go.
And I was terrified of the rapture. Anytime I said anything about the rapture, it's always just like, well, you're thinking with your human brain. You're not thinking with your heavenly brain. I'm like, but I only have a human brain. Like, I can only understand what I can understand here.
Can I ask you something too? I wanted to know, like, so do you believe, like, say, if someone's kind and treats people right and is a really good-hearted soul, but say they really don't believe in anything, perhaps, God, right? Do you believe that they're gonna burn just because they don't believe?
I think that God invites us all
Oh, yeah,
to have a
YouTube
life with
ended
Him
the
in
stream.
eternity. And I
Damn.
think a lot of times we're like, He's just want to throw people in hell, but He's like, if you want to be with me in eternity, these are the qualifications. Jesus is the only
So that's a
way.
yes.
Conditionally, but terms and
So yeah,
conditions
you
of
think they'll burn
So
in
that's a
hell.
yes. The good person will burn in hell.
If they don't know Jesus, yes, they
Yeah.
will not be with God for eternity.
Yeah, so that makes me not want to know that guy.
I think step back a little
We
because
should
we've
go
been
back to the
dancing
prompt.
around it a little
Yeah.
bit, but relating to the prompt though, I would like to know how you became ex-Christians. I think that might help
Actually,
us.
yeah, that'd be really nice.
By reading the Bible.
Okay.
I think
When
that's
you
a
disagreed.
common thing.
Yeah. Well,
Do you mind
I
if
mean,
I ask if you have a religion?
I do not have any organized.
My fault, y'all. YouTube ended the stream, so I gotta start it back up. You about to strike my channel or what, bro? The heck? We found something that may bother you too. What the freak? Yo, like in the next 2 seconds. Third-party content. What does that even mean? Copyright issues with live stream. All live streams are scanned for matches to third-party content, including copyright content in the form of another live broadcast. Damn, so we can't watch like videos on stream? Bro, this copyright stuff be really pissing me off. Like, YouTube gotta do something about this. Man, if something's on YouTube, it can be copyrighted. You Let me check this thing. Chat. Leave. What the heck? Active warning strike. Wait, what is it talking about, bro? What is it talking about, bro? Black things. Is this thing copyright protected, y'all? I'm trying to figure this thing out right now. Because I don't know if we can't react to videos online. Let me search it up. Can we watch YouTube videos on live stream? On YouTube Live or something like that. YouTube live stream. I don't know. Like, if something's on YouTube, why do we get copywritten for that? Yo, YouTube sometimes stinks, bro. I might like to watch YouTube videos on stream. What is that? You can't watch videos on YouTube? What? You can't watch what? I'm shocked, bro. I'm really shocked. So it's saying that I got copyright, copyright strike, something like that. What does that mean, yo? I'm trying to figure this thing out in real time. Real time. Was it like what is it talking about, bro? Elijah that blade belonged to someone else that was not correct. Therefore, repeated warnings are possible abuse. What? You may not intend to close God, but Elijah should be acting Elijah should be correct and determined for the virtual life. Oh, you gotta get permission to use someone's content? Are these people serious? I'm just gonna fast forward it, bro, cause I'm just gonna fast forward. Let's just fast forward it, thing, bro. Chat, bro. We just gonna fast forward it thing. Let's get back to it, man. Let's get back to it.
Organized religion, I don't really believe in anything supernatural. I am technically part of the Satanic Temple. We only have 7 rules. We don't have an entire book. We don't need to.
Is that considered a religion? I'm just curious. I
It
don't
is
know.
technically considered a religion, but it's like the religion to end all religions. They really hate organized religion. They kind of want to just have everybody focus on humanity, putting differences aside, treating each other with respect.
I guess what I'm asking is, so there was a time when you called yourself a Christian.
Of course.
How did you become an ex-Christian? What made that change?
So it all started when my family, I was 22 years old. I started asking, like, specifically, like, if you wanted an example of something. The Bible says in Exodus 20, these are the 10 commandments, and then it lists things that God only verbally spoke. But then later, if you go to Exodus 34, it mentions the 10 commandments, and they're a little bit different. I would encourage you to go look at Exodus 34, especially the 10th commandment. Do not boil a goat in its mother's milk.
Yeah.
That's a fun one. We should be adhering to that today, right?
Well, if Jesus never came and created a new covenant, then yeah, there's a lot of things we'd still be doing.
Sure. Those are part of the 613 laws, which is called the mitzvah. And people don't know that we're not under those laws anymore. We're also not under pretty much any law because it says Romans 6:14, we're free. Right? We're free from the law.
I mean,
We're
that's
under
just
grace.
one example. If you really want to focus on the things that most Christians say should be relevant, that would be the Gospels, right? You guys would agree with that?
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's look at all 4 Gospels, let's compare them to one another, and tell me that there are not contradictions in them. That
There's no
one event
contradictions in the
happened,
Bible.
and also the simultaneous other event happened. Like, was Judas, did he die in the desert, or did somebody kill him? Like,
It never says anybody killed him.
What are you talking about, bro? Judas killed himself. He jumped off a freaking cliff. Did he jump off a cliff or he hanged himself? Something like that. I think he hanged himself or a cliff. No, he hanged himself and then he threw his possessions down a cliff or something like that. Or we could just look it up. That's why we have Google, right? Look it up. Look. How did Judas die? So according to Matthew 27, chapter 3, verse 10 to 10, Judas felt remorse after seeing Jesus condemned to death. He returned the silver and hanged himself. See, simple. Look, this is how satanic people. This is how you look stuff up. You search it up. How did Judas die? Judas hanged himself. Let's get back to it now.
It says he hung himself.
yeah, he hung
He
himself.
fell headlong, right? And then
Yeah, or was he killed by the people that he was paid off by?
I mean, we could have a nitpicking theological discussion.
Yeah.
with all these different
should,
passages.
shouldn't
we?
Well, not
We could, but we
yeah,
also
Bible
should.
says
But I
later,
also want to
that's
know,
not the
so
business.
your experience, is that similar difficulty with the Bible, so you kind of walked away?
So I talked about my epiphany experience, but also when I came out to my mom, I went to, Christian camp and Bible college. When I came out to my mom, she ripped up my birth certificate and sent it to me.
Oh my
which is very like, I said to my therapist, I was like, oh,
That's
that was
horrible.
that was
Yeah,
so
that's awful.
passive aggressive. My therapist was like, no, that was aggressive.
That was
aggressive.
no passive.
But, we came to find each other. I was the only of her 5 kids that was holding her hand when she died.
Oh my gosh.
We prayed together. But that experience was one of the ones where I was like, it's not just about me. I lost 2 partners in a row to cancer, which is just, kind of
Horrible.
Yeah, but I know that there is something that I have faith in, and it's not Christianity and it's not God, but that I was the right people to sit with both those women as they died, right?
Yeah.
And that is like what I have faith in. I wish that I still had Christianity. I wish that was something that I could still stomach because, except for you saying you like Trump, I think we would have a lot of fun, right? I already like it.
Trump doesn't have to come. I love Trump. He don't got to be there.
So, I still have that faith. I just wish it could come in a Christian package, but that just does not work for me. I feel like the world is too
Why
big.
do non-Christians hate Trump? I don't get the Trump hate though. I don't really get it. What has this man done? What has Trump done? Let me ask Siri. Hey Siri. Why do people hate Trump? Look, they don't even allow Siri to say anything about it. Let's search it up again. Hey Siri. Why do people hate Donald Trump? Look, chat. They wouldn't even allow Siri to talk about Trump. Crazy. Okay, let's say Joe Biden. Hey Siri. Why do people like Joe Biden?
Throughout his long career, his positions have been aligned with the center of the Democratic Party. In 2022, journalist Sasha Eisenberg wrote that Biden's most valuable political skill was an innate compass for the ever-shifting mainstream of the Democratic Party. This answer is from Wikipedia.
And now we're gonna ask Siri, why do people like Trump? And let's see if Siri gives an answer like it did Joe Biden. Hey Siri, why do people like Donald Trump?
Okay, I found this on the web for why do people like Donald Trump. Check it out.
You see? I asked it for Donald Trump and it couldn't say anything. It just gave me a list. But when I said Joe Biden, it read something out loud. Maybe this could be a bug. It could be a bug. We don't know. It could be a bug. It could also not be a bug. Apple. 4K or 1080p, 60 frames per second. Let's get back to it though.
For that.
And I see your reaction when she's mentioned the birth certificate. Most of the good Christian friends that I have react the same way as you do. And the problem is that's the norm. Her experience in Christian households is the norm.
That's crazy.
It's the norm. I came out to my family. I am a happily married man for 15 years. And my family hates me because of that. You know, there's an issue with that. So that becomes the norm. And when that's the norm, you need to really question, you know, what's happening in there.
So I feel like a lot of people think that Christians are allowed to judge, and if they don't read the Bible, they don't understand that we're not allowed to judge. So that's why a lot of this sounds like kind of your personal problems with your families who claim to be Christian, and this is no disrespect, but if you really are Christian, you're not called to judge anybody. We're all interconnected by sin. If I stand in front of God as an ex-gang member and you stand in front of God as a homosexuality, we're both on the same level. Yeah. So we have to recognize that. So I do agree with people when they say, you know, the community here, when they're saying that, you know, Christianity and people try to act as holier than thou, that's not what true Christianity is.
100%.
I'm just hearing you said my mom wasn't a good Christian. Now I'm mad at you for that. Yeah, like my mom
sorry
was
to
a good
say.
Christian. She was doing what her, I mean, maybe a little dramatic, right? It seems a little gay to wrap up, you know, something. Oh my God, you know. But my mom was a good Christian. Like she was doing what she thought she needed to do to keep me from going to hell. Like she, no joke, that's what she thought was the most loving thing in that moment.
There's
you
a
know,
right
And
way to go about it.
if I may add to that, what you said is correct. You know, if you want to be a right.
But the thing is too, is it really judging if you're trying to help someone? Like, bro, the Bible says being gay is a sin, and you're still choosing to be gay. If I love you, you are my son, you're my daughter, I'm going to say, hey, Peter, hey, Sarah, you can't be gay because I want to see you in heaven. You're my daughter, I want to see you in heaven. I don't want to see you burning. I made you. I don't want to see you in heaven. That's what I'm telling you. Being gay is not cool. That is not judgment. That's telling you the truth so you can save your freaking selves. So God can save you. That's why I say that. It's not judgment. It's just me telling you the truth. It's just me telling you the truth. It's not judgment, bro. It's not judgment. I love you. That's why I'm telling you the truth. Being gay is not normal. It's a sin. There's no happiness in that. You can't have no kids in that sickness. It's not hate. It's not hatred. I have my sins. I have my problems with lust. I'm not supposed to be looking at stuff that I'm not supposed to be looking at. I can't look at that. I cannot look at that. That's a sin. If someone told me that's a sin, I have to oblige. I have to tell him, hey, I'm sorry. I got to pray. Pray for me. Let me get out of this sin. That's how it works. It's not no judgment. I don't care if you used to be a sex worker, you used to be gay, you had a kid out of wedlock, you divorced your husband, you divorced your wife, you put hands on your wife, you did this, you did that, you had an abortion. I don't care about that. What I care about is you, your internal salvation. Where you're going to lay your soul at. Where your soul is going to go at the end of your death. That's the issue. That's the only thing I care about. It's not judging you. I love you. That's why I'm talking to you like this. Nobody else is going to talk to you like this because everybody's living in sin and they're comfortable in sin. Because sin is nice. Sin is fun. I get to have sex with anybody I want. I get to do anything. I get to get high. I like to smoke. I want to show my body on OnlyFans. I can make some money. I can make $1,000 a month. I could be free. I could sleep with who I want. I could do what I want. I could say what I want. I could look at what I want. I'm free-spirited. I believe in the astrology stuff. I believe in zodiac signs. That is nonsense. Choosing God is the hardest thing you could do in this life. It's the hardest thing. So I get that. I get why you're struggling with me telling you that being gay is a sin. Because you love that sin that you're in. I get that.
Full, correct Christian, you're not called to judge. The
Right.
problem is going back to what I mentioned. It's the norm. So we need to ask ourselves
So I
what
don't-
is happening
Right.
with the majority of Christian families or households that are all reacting
Yeah,
like
if
that.
y'all could just go talk to your people, please. That would be great.
Believe me, I do.
Yeah, I know you do.
Hey, I know this discussion can feel like a lot. Thankfully, our partner for this video,
Oh, that's it though. That's it. That's it. That's it though.